Ahum. Blessings, bendiciones, namaste, and all that is beautiful for you. We are now going to go into all the suits of the number 6 group of cards in the Spanish Tarot. And I want to take a few minutes out of this to again remind you of who we are, what purposes we serve. Because this next group, this 6 of clubs card, wherever it is that it falls, it is extremely, extremely important for you to either guide yourself or to guide your client well. Here is the 6 of clubs, right? It's right here. Very pretty card. I mean, I love these cards. This art, it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Wish you can make them really big, you know, like reproduce them really big and put some, the ones that I really like, just put them as picture frames around my spirit room. This card, back to the 6 of clubs. You see this card, and again, I'm just going above only the tippy top, because we still have to learn the spreads. Then we have to learn what, if there's another card that lands here, what suit lands here, what suit lands here, which one's here. When do we do another spread? When do we reshuffle? How do we ask our spirit guide, our muerto? When do we ask him questions? How do we ask questions? So, I mean, there's a lot I want you to know. This is not like all other tarot cards. It just really isn't. It truly, truly isn't. So this is one of the most negative presenting card in the entire deck. Why? Because this has to do with maybe depression, loss of life, maybe suicide ideation. It could. It really, really could. This card, when we all have had that client that comes to us and they are at their lowest. They can't anymore. They've gone everywhere that they've needed, and they need someone to give them some kind of message that they're going to get through this. This card is for the reader to understand the magnitude that your client, or you, if you're doing this for yourself, the magnitude of where they are in their lives. It indicates a situation of extreme sadness, depression, and the lack of desire to move on in this lifetime. Be very, very, very astute when you deal with someone that presents to you and this card comes out and you confirm to them your findings. They will tell you. Oh, they will tell you that they are there because they need help. Okay? The client's mood is going to be unreachable because I don't think, unless you've been there yourself, you're not going to understand. You just won't be able to reach that frequency. But if you've been there, you're going to know where they're at. And this is where you come out. This is where your intuition, this is where this guy comes out and says, yeah, well, we need to help this person, right? Right. um, they are at a point where it's very difficult to get out of any given situation. If their attitude doesn't change, attitude towards what? How to get themselves out. Some people don't know how to get themselves out. They need help. That's why they come to us. They come to us because they've gone everybody else. They've gone to everybody else and it hasn't worked. We're that last line where we tell them, you need therapy, but let's help you on this side, on the spiritual side. Let's help you. Let's get you to understand that you need therapy and understand what this is going to do and help you. And let's take a look at what we can change here that is going to help you in the future and get you out of this funk, because it's going to be a spiritual help, and there's going to be the emotional help on the other side. And the last thing you want is this person to continue being in this funk and ultimately have this dis-ease cause disease in their bodies. And you should be concerned. This is the fellow man. This is another vibration that adds to your vibration on this earth. So it's important to help them. Enough of that. We have all fought against negative feelings and negative thoughts, negative things that have come to our minds, our souls, and our lives, right? What makes it so hard to move forward is that we feel paralyzed, right? Where your client is paralyzed. They can't see. They have no clarity. They have mental fog. Well, hello, meditation helps, right? Seeking therapy helps. So you, as a reader, find yourself a holistic therapist that you can send clients to back and forth, right? And they'll do the same thing. If there's anybody that needs a reader or a reading or whatever, they'll send to you. I do. I have it. Why not? Especially when this card comes out, you know something's very wrong, very wrong. And you have to do something about it, because you're going to be the last person you don't want to be the last person that this client saw and then did something crazy, right? The cards that come around this is going to tell you a story, how we came to that emotional disaster that your client is now, or even you are now feeling, are now part of, you're vibrating in or with, right? So if there's gold coins on the sides, they are the person's having this depression because of financial issues. If they are cups, it's couple or family issues. If and then with the golds, you got to add the professional, because it could also be work involved. With the swords, it's poor health. We all know, I think that the swords it's much more in there. But if you have the swords, it would mean the warning for poor health, and maybe the health issues, cancer, leukemia, whatever it is adding to their emotional distraught, being emotionally distraught. To heal our seriously ill soul, this is where a holistic therapist comes into the picture, along with spiritual showers, rituals, just sitting down and talking with people. I have clients that tell me, Mary, I don't want a reading today. I just want to sit down and talk. Okay, talk. Let's talk, right? And while they're talking, I'm here looking at things. I'm going, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And sometimes talking it out with someone is more than enough. Be present. Be there for your clients. You'd be amazed how much more the universe can help you with that and with a lot of other things. Which reminds me, let's go into the Six of Swords, right? The Six of Swords talks about your flaws, things that you need help with, things you need to get better, things you need to make better about yourself, and things that are constantly reminding you and making it difficult to move forward. It represents conflict, the possibility of hurting others, whether it's verbally, with your mind. I've seen people, I throw daggers at his back. I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? No, you need to stop that. Okay, as well as being personally hurt. Okay, the client depends on third parties that are of vital importance to mark the path that should be taken into action. Okay. In the mental health aspect, it's recommended to be attentive to the limitations themselves. Avoid self-deception that projects the faults and deficiencies in people in the immediate environment. Stop blaming people for things that you need to be taking care of yourself. Okay. And if you do find flaws in their work and it makes you work harder, okay. So you pick it up and you fix it. You have to teach your client. Say, okay, well, if they're not doing their workload, okay, then you get it. Oh, but that means it doesn't matter. It's going to make you better. Turning it around. Give them a different point of view. Teach them that everything that they've been conditioned to believe can be destroyed, and they can recreate something totally new that works for them without harming anyone, including themselves. My birds agree. See that? My birds are green. There you go. This also shows like a temporary moment where it's actually impossible to carry out a lasting and stable relationship or sentimental relationship, but it also foreshadows a trip with setbacks and new projects that actually become stagnant. And you can't see the solution, right? All you see is just this huge entanglement. You don't have the clarity, or your client doesn't have the clarity. At this moment, depending on what house, not astrological, what house it is that you find this card in, or if it's in a general, depending on what's around it, your best bet at this moment, this card will tell you patience is recommended. Success is just going to take a little longer, but it is going to come. This is not an absolute. This is just a conflict. These are possibilities. These are deficiencies that you are going to have to do the work yourself if you want to get it done. That means that at this moment, any relationship that you want, not only romantic, but a relationship with anything, okay, is not going to happen, but it's temporary. And you must always remember and remind people, hey, there is nothing we can't change in the present. Okay? It's very important. And that'll ease their minds. And you send them their showers, and you send them their rituals, and you do whatever it needs for them to feel better. And they will. They will change their point of view. They will change the way they vibrate. They will want to start to want to get to the point where the laws of attraction and the laws of abundance can see their beacon of light and say, hey, I'm going over there. This person needs me, because good things are going to start happening. It is temporary. Everything bad is temporary, guys. Everything. Okay. Let's go to the cups. And here are the 6 of Cups. Oh, we talk about melancholical card. This is the melancholy card. It clearly depicts the client is in a state of sadness, prevents him or her from moving forward. Again, all these cards have a mental health aspect. The 6 has a mental health aspect to it. So, depending on where they fall, where it falls, and whatever falls around it, you're going to see what's going on. But number 6 reminds us that the sadness is produced by bad memories or experiences in the past, whether it's fear, whether it's emotional, whether it's negative thoughts. It goes back in time. So this card can go back in time. Well, if they're having issues, maybe it's PTSD, maybe, they have this feeling that they haven't been able to get themselves out of. Maybe they don't know how. This is a great opportunity to tell them, hey, listen, there's a lot of old crap that you haven't been able to let go of. You really need to be living in the present. You need a little help. Let's talk to a holistic therapist. Let's see how we can do this. Perhaps if they are at a point, if you are a shaman and you're using these cards, perhaps they're at a point where they can certainly use, if they're ready, and you're only going to know if their people tell your people that they're ready, a soul retrieval. Yes, a soul retrieval. It's wonderful. It brings back soul fragments that were lost in the past because of fearful fight or flight moments, right? Right. So maybe that's something. Maybe followed with an illumination. Maybe a detachment is something to consider. So, there's so many things out there that we can help them with, but ultimately you need to make sure that their mental health is at the right capacity. You're not a mental health provider. You are a psychic. Well, not even a psychic. You're a spiritualist. And when you're told, tell this person they need a holistic therapist, get that holistic therapist you talk to and give them the card. Hey, listen, go and talk to so-and-so. Okay? Go and talk with so-and-so. I think it'll do you good. You call the therapist ahead of time and say, listen, this is what I found. This is what she said. Okay, great, fine, thank you. Yeah, it's going to take your time. But what did you do? You help someone. Is that worth money? That's worth everything. Okay. If the client doesn't change their attitude and tries to be optimistic, if they try not, if they don't try to get a different point of view, it's going to be difficult for the situation to change into a positive thing. Now, notice what I just said. If the client chooses not to change their attitude to try to be more optimistic, this is right here telling you, tell your client that they do need to find the help that they need to change their attitude, change the way they vibrate. For us, it's vibration, to change their vibrations, to get the help they need to get themselves in clarity. Maybe it's running bars. Maybe it's access bars. Maybe that's what they need. Maybe they just need to talk to somebody, whatever it is, okay? They need to understand you're guiding them already. Dude, you have to change the way you think about things. This card, oh my God, for my dad, always comes out. It's like, dude, change your point of view. And then he laughs because that's who he is. But any cards that are around the 6 of Cups, This is where the melancholy comes in regarding that particular situation that those cards bring into that reading. With the cups, it's about emotional problems and in love. With work, it means attaining, not supplies, um, attaining something that you want in order for you to get that promotion, for you to get that movement forward. If there's swords, then we're talking about health, right? The health aspect. Um, it talks about health, but then you have to look and see which number of the swords came out, dude. So it's, you know, it's a lot of possibilities, and even more so probable possibilities. It just depends on what is around, right? What is immediately around, what is next, and then the other group, right? It all works. It all tells you this is the immediate. So your card is in the middle, and then you have these 4 cards around it. Well, that's the immediate thing you're going to work on and talk to them about. And then you have the second most important thing, then the third most important, and the distant issues that you may want to talk about. I like to tend to the first and second line, and I call them lines of defense, because I'm giving my client defensive strategies to go in their lives, through their lives. The 6 of coins. And again, this is a difficulty card. It brings in difficulty. It explains difficulty in many phases. Even though the card represents difficulties, it also has the energy to predict that they will actually resolve on their own. Like, there's nothing you need to do. You just need to give it time. Something needed to pass, touch other people, and you are here waiting for it to pass so that things are going to start resolving, right? It indicates that whatever obstacle you're seeing, anything that's stagnant, anything that is just preventing you from doing things or getting things done, it is going to be very easy to overcome them. You just have to be patient. And oh my God, nobody has patience anymore. This card definitely predicts obstacles to achieve any projected goals that has anything to do with the economic side of things. Okay. It can actually give you a message where positive events are going to start coming into your client's life, raising awareness, making him or her generous, and but a little more detached when it comes to their hold on life, right? The card can also be taken into account that those cards that are around it, either the first line or the second line, or the first square or the second square, announces greed, a run of bad luck, jealousy, and jealousy that can cloud the future and good development. And that would usually mean that it would come out this way. But remember, I don't read reverse cards. I let my guide tell me, hey, because the way that I would do this, I would say, you know what, these are going to resolve by themselves. Positive stuff is coming for you, but don't let it get into your head. The last thing you want is to get into a moment of greed, because greed is a negative energy. It's going to bring jealousy. It's going to bring in a halt to your divine and perfect development. Okay, and because that is how I would read the card when it's one of these quick readings. Okay, definitely not an in-depth, but again, we're just learning the tippy top of of what these cards are all about. You have no idea. It's going to take about a year, I think, to finish all the possibilities, all the probable possibilities, how to use it on timelines, how to clear timelines, how to work through dimensions, how to make the changes. Yes, we can make changes using quantum energy, but we'll get to that. That's going to be at the end. But thank you for joining me. Yes, I do get too excited. I talk too much. I'm so sorry that I take so much time explaining these. I can just imagine when we really get into the other ones. All right. Thank you very much. You have a beautiful day.